We are going to bring on Allie Krieger. Let's see. Allie, are you here? There are so many requests. Wait a second. Allie, have you submitted a request? Allie, if you can ask to join. I don't see you yet. Allie. All right. Hey, Jess, will you text Allie? Oh, she's here. Allie, will you send a request? We're doing our best here, people. We're going to get her on. Did someone say she's here? She's here. Jess or Mark, if you're watching and you want to let me know what's going on. Allie Krieger. Oh, wait. There's hope. Yes. All right. She's coming.
Hi.
You're here.
I'm here. I was watching previously, so I think that's why like the thing didn't pop up asking for a request.
It's okay. I tell people, like, you know, so many people are going live, and like I always remind people that Miley Cyrus has been having Wi-Fi trouble. So it's like everyone's doing their best, you know?
We're fine. Then if she's having trouble.
Everyone's just trying to figure it out. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
What is?
It's just from a Pride campaign.
It's super cool. Thank you for being here, and thank you for bringing lots of friends, apparently.
Yeah, I'm so glad they're here and so thankful to be with you guys right now. So thanks for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. We talked earlier, so I already shared this with you, but
yeah,
we, you know, I go further back with Ashlyn, and Ashlyn has obviously been so vocal in her support of the organization. And I feel like we overlook your support sometimes. And
I'm just over here.
My favorite example of that is when we saw you after a Pride game, I guess last year, and a few of the women, Ashlyn included, had given us, you know, their U.S. jerseys to raffle off to raise money for the organization. And you just politely, quietly mentioned, you're like, hey, guys, I would have given you mine.
Yeah, just like, let me know if you need an extra.
Yeah. So I feel like you've quietly supported us. And so when it came to this, I was like, you know what? I am going to ask Allie to be on Instagram Live.
Well, I appreciate you. And anytime, I got you. I got your back with the jersey. So
thank
you.
Next
time.
Thank you so much. I got some questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
As I started with Levi, I just love to ask kind of what this season of life has been looking like. I know you've been training, so we can touch on that. But I wonder, as it relates to not only being physically healthy, but mentally healthy, what has self-care looked like? What has getting through this strange season been like for you?
Yeah, it's been really hard. I can't lie. I'm sure, you know, we're all kind of dealing with it in different ways. At the beginning, I was very happy being home for at least just like a 2-week period. I was just really happy to be in my home because we're always traveling. We're living out of bags. We're in hotels. I mean, people know. And we're rarely here. And so it was really nice the first, like, you know, couple weeks. I was like, wow, this is like actually so nice to like be home, be with the pups, be with Ash, and not have to like stress about, you know, when we're on our next flight or next camp and things like that. We love that, but also we haven't had time at home that we could really enjoy. So at the beginning I was like, okay, this is so nice, and kind of getting in a nice routine. And then I kind of hit like in like month 2 and like week 4-ish, I wasn't doing well. And I was just like, okay, when, you know, can we get back to training? when are we going to be able to find new ways to like stay fit and healthy for when we do have to get back to playing? Like, how are we, we've worked so hard since December 1st,
Yeah.
individually and, with the US team, because we hadn't start our Orlando
Yeah.
preseason yet. We had just been training really hard in order to get fit to prepare for preseason and our NWSL season. So it was like kind of all of a sudden just taken from us, and we had to like reevaluate like where we could go train. You can never replicate at the highest level. So that was mentally tough to kind of figure out, okay, well, like this is our job, to stay fit, and it's a 24-hour job. So we have to stay fit, we have to stay healthy, we have to like, be ready for when we do have to go back to work. I don't think of it as a job because I love it.
Sure.
So, but that I went through that mental piece of like, okay, I need a routine. I need to like step back and take a breath. I need to take care of myself, mentally, physically, emotionally, in a way that like I don't think I've ever had to really dig this deep before. And it was a struggle because Ash and I, luckily we can train together because we're quarantined together.
Yeah.
So we would go out to the park or a field, like random field, and be able to train with each other, pass the ball back and forth, which was nice. But you can only do that for so long until you start like, I literally one day she asked me after I had like missed like 3 passes in a row to her. She was like, "Are you good? Like, do you want to go home?" Like my attitude was so poor, and I felt bad. And I was like, "Listen, like I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm not having fun. I don't know when we're gonna get back on the field. I don't know if we're ever gonna play again. I don't know when things are gonna be back to not normal, but just like normal for us in the sense of seeing people and going to the store without having to wear a mask or gloves, or like it's been like an up and down roller coaster. But I then started to get into this routine, and I feel like it's so much healthier to be able to be in a routine and plan your day the night before, like, okay, tomorrow we're going to do this, this, and this, and we're going to like look forward to doing stuff, which now I think has been so much healthier for me mentally, because we like now have stuff on the schedule, whether it's Insta lives like with you, or with friends, Zoom calls with friends, we have meetings, so we kind of like plan our day around that type of stuff and make sure we're connecting in a way of like just having good communication and understanding each other's feelings, because we both obviously are 2 different people and we deal with things differently. So yeah, it's been up and down, but I'd say this week has been a good week.
Yeah. So you touched on Ashlyn was there for you when your attitude was poor.
Oh my God.
For people who follow you guys, they may have seen that this training has not been super fun all the time for Ashlyn.
Oh man.
So I know it's easy to joke about, but what has it been like? Like, I know you're training individually, but with the Pride, is that accurate?
Yeah. So we have like different quadrants on the field that we can train in, but luckily Ash and I are able to be, in the same quadrant or the same half of the field, because
has that been way better? Is it still frustrating? What's that been like?
It's been really frustrating for Ash. I don't mean to laugh, but I love her videos because that's her and that's how raw and honest she is. And everyone can see that. And she's just so motivated to want to be the best. And you see that in the videos. Like if something goes wrong, she's just like, I need to be better and I need to clean this up. But like we're all, even when we're in the middle of like a worldwide pandemic and worldwide crisis, like, we're still trying to get better at, our job. And I think it's just providing us with a little comedy relief, I think, for everyone as well, because we all go through it and we're all in this together, and we're all, even if it's struggling, we're struggling together and we're supporting each other. So that's kind of like what it's been like, and we're doing the best we can. We're individually working our butts off on the field to, be ready for whenever we're going to get back out there together. And I know hopefully next week we're somewhat focusing on getting into phase 2, which is like small group training. So if that goes well, we'll hopefully continue to move down the road. But it's been really enjoyable to train with her and see that exciting.
You told me earlier, you're the only one who's allowed to kick the ball to her, right?
Yeah, because we were quarantined together, so luckily we were able to pass back and forth. But people who aren't quarantined together, like three of our other teammates are able to train together because they're quarantined together in the same apartment. So like they're lucky because they can like train together. Well, some people are just out there individually,
Yeah.
like doing their thing, and it's tough. It's really hard to
Yeah.
stay
Well, and
motivated that way.
you were saying like you have other work to do. You can't just be like trying to score goals.
Right, right. I'm like, Ash, like I can throw you as many balls. Like I can like, do your handling. I don't even know what it's called. But I can like toss you the balls and like you can go for them. But like I also need to like do my
Yeah.
training. So it's a good balance though, because she hasn't been able to use her hands too much, sorry, in the past like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
just because of her hand injury. But
Oh, sure,
obviously
sure.
getting back, she's able to use it now. So like we're kind of in our own little quadrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of a different subject, but maybe relates. Obviously, like we've been isolated or more isolated. I know you've been with Ashlyn, but
Yeah.
what has it been like connecting with family, friends, now teammates? Has that been a process? Has that been something that you've really been leaning into and appreciating, or what has that looked
hmm
like for you?
Honestly, like I think I've talked to my friends so much more now that we've been quarantined than I ever have before, and like we've connected in a way that I've missed so much, and I feel so grateful and thankful that I'm able to do that now. So I feel like, amongst how frustrating and crazy this has been the past few months, I've reconnected with my friends and family like I've never had before, and I've never felt as close.
Mm.
And so I'm really grateful for that. And that's something that's so positive coming out of this experience. Um, and every Thursday night, we have a happy hour at 7 p.m. on a Zoom call with my friends from home and their partners or wives. So it's really enjoyable. We just kind of like are able to like let loose and like, catch up with everyone, make sure everyone's doing okay. And just whether it's good or bad, just kind of talk everything out and have a few laughs and pretend like we're, at our normal happy hour at home.
Yeah,
So it's been great. And like Ash will pop in and say hi at times. So it's really, really good. And I think that's something that I can say is so positive about
yeah.
right now.
Have you? Are you going to keep going live with Heather O'Reilly?
Yeah, we're trying to do like bi-weekly because we're just so like literally I feel like I'm not busy, but I'm busy.
Yeah,
And so is she. And she's, obviously due soon, I think, with her baby boy, which is so exciting. So I think we're gonna have to like,
yeah,
figure that out. But yeah, we love it because it's just like a good time to catch up and kind of take your mind away from normal day-to-day things.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things when we had Ashlyn on, I guess about a month ago, it was really cool to ask her about your wedding and
Yeah.
to kind of hear her reflect. And so I wanted to do that with you. I part of why I love it is I got to experience it. I got to be
Yes.
there, and it was just magical and amazing. And I don't know how anything will compare to it. But I
I
wonder,
know.
as the months have gone by, um, just what does it feel like now? What stands out about that night for you?
Um, I think what stands out is walking up those stairs at the ceremony for the first time and seeing all of our closest friends and family that mean the world to us, that, because it was such an intimate moment that we, had invited just like the people in our lives that really mean the absolute most to us, and who we have such great connections with. And I feel like that just took my breath away because everyone is in one place for you. And they want to support you, and they're showing their love, and they're showing that they care about you and obviously Ash and whoever your partner is or spouse is at that moment. So it's such a joyful experience walking up there, and we kind of made our entrance and just seeing everyone's faces. That to me was something that I will never forget. And it's such a good feeling to this day because everyone's there one time in your life, really, just for you to celebrate your love and your commitment to each other. And that's something that has been really incredible, like such a happy feeling for me,
Yeah.
and probably the best memory that I have.
Ashlyn shared, she said a word that it surprised me, but it was also really powerful. But she used a bunch of words that she felt like people got to show up and recognize and share. And one of those was pain. And I feel
Yeah,
like you wouldn't often equate that or imagine that. You wouldn't imagine a wedding
right,
being the right setting for that, but it was
right.
so real and raw and beautiful. And I think about your brother's speech and
Yeah.
your dad throwing his cane on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what it meant, even for you with your family.
Yeah, it meant so much that both of my parents were able to be there. Obviously, I know, people remember my dad having that bad accident in August. And so something that really was meaningful for me is that he was actually able to be present because we weren't sure if he'd be able to make it there. So that was something that was so great for me to have him, have his support, and my mom there at the same time. They've obviously been, divorced for quite some time, but to have them stand next to each other and walk with each other down the aisle was really something that I had hoped for and that had happened. And that was just so refreshing for me. And it just made everything kind of go at ease. I feel like we've come a long way as a family, and that was just so nice to share with them that experience and how happy they seemed in that moment as well. So I was so lucky my dad was there. All he cared about was the first dance. So like he was like, when is our father-daughter dance? Like, when do I have to be ready? So he was just like so nervous about that. And I was like, Dad, just like
Yeah.
relax, it's coming, it's coming. Like I gotta like figure out a couple of things that we had, set up before that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So he gets up, and he throws his cane and he like gets on the dance floor, and like it was just a really special moment. And then Ash and her father, Mike, got on the opposite end of the dance floor. So it was really special for both of us to have that moment. A bit
Yeah.
traditional, but we wanted to share that with them. So yeah, it was just such an amazing celebration of hope, happiness, also pain, and that it's okay to have these struggles throughout your life, but then you have beautiful, happy endings. And that it's okay to not be okay all the time, but with the love and support of your friends and family,
Yeah.
and for yourself, you can accomplish beautiful things.
Yeah. I know we could probably talk for two
Yeah.
hours about your brother.
Oh
And I
my
know for
gosh,
me,
I
I mean,
know.
I feel like his speech that night is it's like one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life,
Yeah, it was
and
incredible.
and it was so raw and so real. And I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about maybe that, like for you, watching and hearing him speak, and just your
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, I love my brother so much. We've been through so much together, even growing up, that a lot of people don't know. And that's what has brought us so close over the years. Of course, when we were younger, we'd have our fights and, things like that. But, getting to like have an experience of when your parents get divorced, you come together. I'm so glad that that's the direction that we took, because you can easily, separate and just go um, kind of like your own ways and kind of create your own path. But we created a path together, and we shared our struggle with each other and our pain with each other through that time. So I think that had just gave us a beautiful foundation to have a strong relationship, a brother sister relationship. And I lean on him for almost everything. He's one of my first phone calls after Ash. So we both do. So it's nice to have him in my corner constantly and supporting us and supporting me. And he's been there since day one. When when maybe some of my family members weren't. So it's a great relationship that we have, and to have him speak at the wedding and kind of share his like personal stories along with me and Ash and how he like met her and then saw this whole relationship develop. That's something that was really nice to hear, and to have him say that, I was like in tears the whole time. But because we've been through a lot and not many people know exactly how deep it is, it's just refreshing to see how well spoken and how he could articulate our emotions so deeply and so well, and
Yeah.
in a funny way too. And you could just see how nervous he was, but he was so excited to bring everyone in that room, no matter where we all came from in our experiences, and everyone felt like they were one. And
Yeah.
I just thought that was really cool, that he just had this aura about him that brought everyone together, and that
Yeah.
he wanted to just speak about happiness and
Mhm.
hope and life, and that was really cool.
Oh, no, it was like, I was like getting choked up just remembering, because it was so
Yeah.
special.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know, I know it's been a big transition. I know for years publicly, people wondered if you guys were together, right? You and Ash.
Yeah.
And now it's
Mm-hmm.
very clear that you guys are together. Uh, you
Yeah.
got married, and there was so, a video
Surprise.
and photos and so much press. And I
Yeah.
wonder what has, and I know your attention isn't new for you. Like, you've
Mm-hmm.
competed at the highest level for years, but I wonder what has taken that on. So not just taking on attention for soccer, but choosing to share your relationship in such a public way. And I know it just seems like every few days there's like a new huge story
Yeah.
about you guys. And I wonder, what has that been like? Has it been awesome? Has it been hard?
It's been awesome and hard. Obviously, I'm somewhat of a private person. I don't think you would realize that. It's like now you see us like shouting from the rooftops, and which is also so exciting and great. And I want people to feel the love that we have, and feel safe and happy with us sharing our life. And but I'm also like somewhat of a private person, so that was really hard for me, and that's why I feel like not that I was hiding our relationship, but just I don't know if that was like I was ready to open up and be vulnerable to that many people. So it was kind of that decision that was holding me back, because I do, at the end of the day, just want to share my relationship and private life with Ash and my family. And so it's really hard to kind of be that open person all of a sudden and be out in this
Yeah.
public as a public figure, and just share everything. And like people know like when I'm going to the bathroom, it's like it's like I wasn't ready
Yeah.
for that really. So I needed to just kind of take some time to think about how we were going to do this. And now I'm so grateful and thankful, because I'm getting messages from so many fans and supporters that they say like, listen, you're saving my life. And I'm so inspired by you guys, just being authentically yourselves and living your life and the way that you're living it and sharing it with the world. And I just think this was normal all along, to be in a same-sex relationship and just be with a person that you absolutely love and adore. And she's my best friend and my partner in life and my wife now. And it's just something that I never really thought was like not normal, if I
Yeah.
don't know if that makes sense. So
Sure.
it was more new to me to share my life no matter who I'm with, rather than actually
Yeah.
share it just with her. So does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
now we're so grateful and happy and thankful because we're saving people's lives, honestly. And
Yeah.
we get messages like that, and it brings me to be just so emotional, but like happy, because if I can do that, like I'm willing to share everything.
Yeah. And I think that was something Kyle said in his speech that night, that you guys were going to do that. Like, I
Yeah.
remember you had the names of LGBT trailblazers at each table, right?
Yeah, that was
And
so
I feel like
cool.
it was someone, Megan or Kyle, that kind of said, like, you guys are going to be like these people, and you're going to make it
Yeah.
easier for other people.
Yeah,
And
and
I
that's
love
something
that
that's
you're
so
getting
comforting
to,
for us, because we're just being
yeah,
ourselves, and I feel like this is just me and this is, my life. And if that can help other people just be just as comfortable and confident in their life and enjoyment, and I mean, everyone deserves happiness. So I think
yeah.
if we can share that and spread that around, yeah, it would be incredible.
Can we keep you for a few more minutes? Is that okay?
I can do a few questions.
Oh, you froze for, okay.
Oh, I'm right here.
Do you mind if we end this one and jump right?
Yes,
Oh, do you mind if we end this and start right back over?
sure.
Okay. So you guys, we're going to end
Okay.
this and jump right back on. Okay. All right. Sorry, you guys, that took a minute. Thank you for coming back. I'm going to bring Allie back on. Okay. Boom. Hi.
Hi.
We did it.
Yes.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, of course.
You guys, the only bummer is we lost all your questions. so
Oh gosh.
so if you don't mind resubmitting your questions, we'll definitely get to a few of those. Again, there's a question mark icon at the bottom of your screen. Allie, I thought about one other question I wanted to ask before we get to questions from these folks. I feel like so many people loved the story of your comeback with the national team,
Mm-hmm.
of being away from the US team that so many people felt you belonged with all along. And it was 2 years, right? So 2 years goes by, and then suddenly you're back. And I feel like, especially for people who are fans of you, and for me as a friend as well, like I was so excited and happy for you. And I wonder, kind of as it relates to mental health and identity, I wonder what that time away was like, and if, had you never gotten the call back, if you feel like you could have had peace. I know that's, we could probably talk for an hour, but just I
Yeah.
wonder, I feel like so many people can relate to having a dream, losing a dream, something ending prematurely. And I just wonder if there's anything you'd want to share from that time, if hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, complete sense. I think I really struggled through that time. I don't, being fired from my job and, not really given a reason why was really difficult to do. It was like leaving a relationship, having like I have that separate. But understood that, what, this is me and I'm going to be the ally no matter, if I'm
Oh,
sorry. Oh,
I think we might be. I think it might be. I think it might be frozen. Can you guys hear her? Um, I know,
sure.
Allie. I can't hear you. People are. Oh, can you hear me? I.
Yes.
I. Okay, I can see you and hear you now. People are blaming Orlando
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
I mean, it probably
I
is
didn't.
because every time I get on Instagram Live, it's so poor. Maybe it's just my house. Sorry, guys.
um. I,
Yeah, I just really quick,
no.
like I really struggled through that time, and I had to figure out what else I wanted to do, and things that I was actually really excited about and really passionate about, I was able to then finally do because, my life kind of took a turn or my career took a turn. But that didn't stop me from being the same ally that was always there. I was like, you know what? Like, if I want to be in the World Cup, I'm going to work my butt off to be back, and I'm going to be that same ally for my club team as I am for the national team. There's no difference. So I'm going to
Yeah.
work just as hard, and I'm going to be ready. So, if they need me, then I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my thing, but I did go through a really dark time, but it also led me into other things that I've wanted to accomplish and were really passionate about, was getting my coaching license or opening up AKFC with my camps and clinics and
Yeah.
doing other things that I hadn't been able to do in 10 years. So it was nice actually to kind of shift that attitude into more of a positive experience
Yeah.
and continue to just be me and work hard and hope for the best.
That's so good. All right. So we'll do a couple questions.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your questions. Um, this is a good one. This was the first one I saw. Do you ever feel pressure advocating?
Well, I thrive under pressure, no matter if it's advocated or not. I feel very good, and that, yeah, I feel as like a public figure, it's really, um, it's kind of like having our brands, it's really well thought out and it's intentional. So
Mm,
I feel like each of us are really fighting for issues that we really believe in and fighting for people that don't look like us. And I think that's really important to continue to advocate for those who don't have a platform and can't speak up. So I think yeah, there's a little bit of pressure, but it's something that I enjoy doing and that I feel like we all thrive in. And I think I want to continue to use my voice and use my platform for good and to speak for those who don't necessarily have that same platform and voice. So,
no, that's so good. I'm digging through. There's so many good questions. Um, who are some of your heroes?
oh, I would say I would say my brother is one of my heroes because he's just been through so many struggles in his life and has continued to succeed and come out on top and to look at life in such a different perspective than I do. And it's really helped like me figure out what I want to do in my life. So I think he's my ultimate hero.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Mhm.
A few people asked, and I think whether it's up to you what you share, but just what coming out was like for you.
Yeah, it was exhilarating. It was nerve-wracking. It was, I had this feeling of just like being unsure. But I know that Ash and I guess it's this. I mean, I never was really hiding from my friends and family for a long time, ever since Ash and I have been together. So I guess it was like a slow coming out story.
Mm,
But publicly, I think when we announced that we were engaged was something that was both like, okay, we have to look at this now as like we're coming out together, but we're also coming out as individuals. So, it was like a big deal. And I think that was really exciting for us because it was kind of like we felt so free and just so honest, and it was really raw and it was us. And I think it was perfect timing. Um, and then yeah, I mean, us just being ourselves and living our life and just sharing it with the world was so freeing. Like we could give everything we have now to everyone in our lives, our friends, our family, our teammates, our bosses, our coworkers. Like just now we just feel like this is me and this is what you get is yeah, what you see is what you get basically. So that
yeah,
was really freeing.
there were a bunch of forms of that question. So I know that's one that really resonates with people. I wonder if someone they're not sure if they can come out, if they're not sure if they can share that part of who they are, if they can be honest. They're afraid of the response they might be met with. I wonder what advice you might have for someone in that place.
Yeah, it was really difficult for me. I feel like you have to do what's right for you and what you feel in your heart. Don't feel pressure from anyone else to do anything. And I feel like you have to surround yourself with people who are going to support you. And knowing that all of my friends and family and teammates like had supported us, especially Ashland's family, I think that was more encouraging for us because we knew that they had our back and they were always going to be there no matter what. And I think that's something that's really nice for us because, if, and also like we actually didn't really care what other people thought at the
Yeah,
time. I mean, I don't really care about what a lot of people think
Yeah,
of how I live my life, because that's just us, and to each their own, right? People can
sure.
choose how to live their life the way they want. So I guess I would just say do what you feel is best, and also just have that support system around you. And if you don't, then find people who are like-minded and who live their life similar as we do, and just find that support system. I think that's really key.
That's so good. I like this one. Describe Ashlyn in 3 words.
Oh gosh. Okay. Beautiful, particular, and I would say really funny.
Yes. She's very honest too. I'm
Oh
giving you
yeah, that's a good one.
giving
That's a
you a
good
4.
one. That's a good one. Very honest and raw. Yeah.
All right, maybe one more. Is that cool?
Yeah, one more, I'm good.
Okay. You guys, there's so many good questions, so thank you.
We'll have to do this again.
Oh, I would love that.
How
How
important
important
was
was
mental health to deal with the, oh my gosh, that was the hardest thing.
for people who
So
don't know, will you talk about that injury as well?
yeah, so I got injured. I was coming off of the 2011 World Cup, played every minute of every game into our Olympic qualifying tournament in January that year in 2012. Um, we were beating this team 7-0. And right before the second half, which I think I was going to come out a couple minutes before that, and right as I shot the ball, and unfortunately I just got tackled, and one of the opponents kicked my knee in, and so I tore my ACL, meniscus, and MCL at the time, and I immediately was just so unsure of the future and so unsure of my career, and just really, really upset. But obviously, try to see the good in everything, and understood, okay, this isn't my time, but I will be back. And I just had to kind of go through this process mentally of like, all right, I need to do everything I can now to get back to the game that I love and to get back on my feet, first and foremost. And then we just take one day at a time. At that time, I felt like, all right, I'm just going to do one thing every single day that's going to make me better, both as a person and in order to get back out on the field. So I try to then take the negative and think and turn it into a positive, and really focus on my recovery, because I had to plan out, if I wanted to get back or not. And if I wanted to play at the highest level again, it was going to take like a 9 to 5 job in the rehab center that I had to go to. So I went back to Germany at the time because I was still playing there. And I went to this rehab facility from 9 to 5 every single day. And I had 2 sessions. And so it was like hardcore, but it was mentally draining because I wasn't around the team that much. This was my new job for myself to get back, to be with the team. So it was, and I was pretty much isolated because none of my friends from home were there. Obviously, I'm overseas. I'm in this new place. Not new, I'd been there for 5 years, but you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really have my family or friends around, so it was really difficult. Anyway, mentally, because physically I could run all day,
Yeah.
emotionally and mentally it took a toll. And you go to this deep, dark place of having bad days, and then you have good days, and then one thing that was really crucial during that time was just taking one day at a time and focusing on what you could control. And that was my attitude and my work ethic. And that's really what got me back. And I didn't put like an end date on anything. I didn't stress myself on that. I was like, listen, I'm going to do this the way that I need to do it and the way my body's going to do it, because everyone's different. And everyone handles injury different. So there wasn't really an end date. But I ended up missing the Olympics, and I was just devastated, because they won the gold medal that year.
Yeah.
So I missed out on that, and that's why, I'm pushing to get a medal at the Olympics. And now, obviously, the virus hit, and it's extended for next summer, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I am hanging on, you guys. I'm hanging on the best I
Yeah.
can. But yeah, it was a tough experience.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that. Someone popped up, someone made an entrance, and I don't know if you've seen the comments, but
No, was it Kyle?
your brother is here.
Okay.
And he asked how
Hi, I
long.
miss you. I love you.
He asked how long is this story,
Of course. I take that back then, what I just said.
and he said he
So.
can't go live with you until you get your Wi-Fi fixed.
Oh my God, he's like Grandma Krieger. I'm dead. He's like, you're gonna be out there running with a cane, and like people are gonna be like, what are you doing? Well, you know what, you youngins, you better watch out.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I love
I'm
that
so glad he's here.
relationship.
You should do a live with him.
Oh,
I'm putting him on the spot.
I'm all for it.
Yes.
I told you, I met your brother randomly at the Orlando airport, and it made me
Yeah.
so happy. And then I got to meet him again. I maybe at a game once or twice, but then at obviously at the wedding, and it was awesome.
Yeah, he's incredible. So I'm
Yeah,
sure everyone would love him here.
Kyle, you have to watch this back because we've been singing your praises.
Yeah, so you know what? Take those comments back.
Yeah, you got to be nice. Well, Allie, I want to let you go, but thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being so honest, and yeah, just thank you for sharing so much of your life and so much of your story. Thank you for not only supporting Ashlyn as she supports To Write Love, but thank
Yes.
you for your support as well.
Yes, I love you guys. And thank
Oh,
you for being such a wonderful friend to us and so supportive of us um and also of us playing soccer, not just as friends, but
oh,
as athletes. It's amazing seeing you in the stands every single home game. It just means the world to us. So thank you.
we no, we love going, and I love bringing my family, my nephews. So it's an
Yeah,
honor. Will you stay safe and healthy and enjoy the rest of your day? Say hello to Ashlyn for us as
I
well.
will. I will. Thanks,
All
Jamie.
right.
Bye,
Thanks,
you
Allie.
guys. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was Allie Krieger. So grateful to her for joining us, for staying on longer than expected. Hello to Kyle Krieger. Would love to have Kyle on. I'm a fan. Anything Kyle does or wants to do ever, I'm into it. Um, well, yeah. Thank you to Levi the poet and Ali Krieger. And just want to remind you, the next TWLOHA at home will be Tuesday, the 26th, I believe. Chad Moses from our team will be hosting. He'll be talking to Justin from Blue October. And then I will be doing two different live conversations, one with the Mighty on Facebook Live, 4 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday, and then on Skull Candy on their Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be hosting a conversation with another nonprofit founder, Jeremy Jones, from Protect Our Winters, and was really honored and excited when Skull Candy invited me to do that. We're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep doing these. We're going to keep having conversations, doing our best to encourage you, doing our best to create a space where people can feel less alone. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for listening, watching. Thank you for your questions. Thank you to everyone who participated in our Run For It 5K. More than 4,000 people, all 50 states, 17 countries, more than $100,000 raised. So we are grateful. And yeah, it was just amazing. We could not have dreamed up such a thing. So on behalf of our team, thank you guys again. There's a new podcast episode with Renee Yohe that is out this week. Next week, we will have the podcast episode with Levi the poet, his conversation with Chad. That comes out on Tuesday. I think that is everything. You guys, we're going to get through this time one day at a time. Please stay healthy. Please stay safe. Take care of each other. And we will see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.